Lever action silhouette. Used to be called cowboy silhouette. It's called lever action silhouette now. Um, it's I've been in the sport for several years, and it's evolved fairly good in my neck of the woods. A lot of guys shoot it. It's a lot of fun. Uh, Nothing's really outrageously hard to hit. Uh, the upper scores are usually decided by one or two targets. Um, Once you get the hang of it, it goes along pretty quick. But I have some B-roll that I'll show you. My son shooting and a friend of mine shooting, the different ways that they hold the rifles in the line of fire, and I'll give you a little bit of. I'll give you the way my son holds a rifle and the way I hold the rifle is pretty similar. So I'll give you a picture of that so you can see how it's done, and then we'll take a look at some of that footage here in a minute. But right now, take a look at the lever action. One of the lever actions I use, I have several, but this is the Model 92 Rossi. These were fairly inexpensive back when I bought this. The Model 92, of course, it's a copy of the 92 Winchester, and this has got the octagon barrel. I outfit it with a marble rear tang sight and a Lyman 27/8 front sight. It just helps me see the target better. I'm getting older and my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, so it's really helpful. And not a lot of guys just do open sight with the buckhorn sights. Most everybody has a receiver sight and some kind of front aperture sight to help them zero in on the target. I have some foam glued on this side. Just helps me, adjust my face a little bit easier when I look at the targets. And this is in 45 long Colt, not a traditional cartridge in Model 92 originally. It was more of a cartridge in the single action Army. This is also a clone. It's made by A.U. Birdie. This is called a Beretta Stampede. I bought this years ago in the one of the gun shops here had it, but they discontinued these like 2010, 11. Nice. I mean, the fit and finish on the thing that's one of the things that attracted me about the Revolver, was just the fit and finish and how nicely they had done it. It was up to Beretta standards, and Beretta did acquire A.U. Birdie back then. Around that time, they acquired. They were both Italian gun makers, and they merged with A.U. Birdie. And they have the Pieta brand. And, I really never got into the cowboy action silhouette or action shooting, but I wanted one, and this is in 45 Colt. So that's what you can see, that the hammer, it has a transfer bar, safety transfer. You can carry 6 rounds in it, and it doesn't have the firing pin on the hammer. But it's pretty true to the design of the Colt, and it's kind of a cool gun and relatively inexpensive. I mean, you would pay, I'm guessing 5 times the amount that I paid for this Revolver to get an actual Colt. And I'm not saying it's not worth it. It would still be worth 5 times more than this, but for what I wanted it for, it just wasn't worth the kind of money they wanted. I mean, they want $2,500 for one of these used, if you can get a Colt. And that's the 3rd generation. So yeah, this is the Beretta Stampede, and of course this is the copy, the 92. Fairly smooth action on these rifles. Never had any problems with it. Shoots extremely well for what you wouldn't think. But at 50 yards, I don't have the targets here to show you, but it would shoot. It shoots lights out. I mean, it's not that great at 100, but it'll shoot 3.5-inch groups at 100 pretty consistently. Most of the bullets are still clumped, within a couple inches or so. But that's all you really need in this game. You don't need tack drivers. And another thing, this is all done offhand. There's no benches. There's no tripods. There's no, there's no shooting sticks. This is stand on your feet, and shoot. That the only thing you get to rest on is your own body, your own hand. That's how you shoot, standing up, and it's less to do about the accuracy of the gun, and more to do about the accuracy of the guy shooting. So these rifles will do the job. You can see I have targets here, just some printed out here real quick so you can take a look. This is the size of the chicken at 40 meters. And what is that, like 42, 43 yards? It's not that far away, but it's not that big either. And remember, you don't have optics. These are iron sights, and, this thing at 40 meters, you can lose it pretty quick in an iron sight. And these are at 50 meters. These are one of the easiest targets, the pigs, 50 meters. And this is what usually, the novice shooter gets up there and they can pretty much hit this all the time. And that's it. You go to the turkeys and rams, they get a little bit more difficult as they go out, especially when you're using lever action gun. So a lot of the guys, you get to this, it kind of makes you feel good. And it's one of the draws, because you can take an old lever gun out of your closet, and they have the small bore, shoots a little thinner target. You can shoot 22 lever action, or anything that's tube fed, or you can shoot. They have a different class for the pistol caliber, and then they go to the big class, which is 30-30s, and some of the bigger rifles. But that's a whole different set of ranges. Your chickens start at 50 meters, but they're regular full-size targets, and the rams go out 200 meters. But again, not that difficult to shoot, but the 200-yard shot at a deer-sized target with open sights, while you're being timed, offhand, there's a lot of air on the target, and you're not looking for a branch to lean against. It's just you and the rifle. So, lever guns are not inherently accurate like a bolt action rifle. They're not inherently accurate like, there's a lot of guys out there that with the precision rifle, and that has its place. I have one. I have a 22 precision rifle myself, and I enjoy that kind of shooting. But this is not that. This is, you're standing there, and it's you against the target basically. And it's one shot, one target. You don't get to shoot 20 shots and say, I got it. You shoot once, you miss, you move on. Shoot again, you miss, you move on. And it can get quite in your head. And that's kind of the deal about that. I'm going to move on, and I'm going to show you how it gets started. And, this is my son he's shooting at bank 7, second set of animals, first chicken, to give you an idea what the targets are. And it looks a little further on the camera, but this is the footage.
Fire!
Anyway, that's what it is. I think in this next clip, I'll show you just a picture of how Mike holds the rifle, and how he kind of, when you're holding offhand, especially in this sport, you want to anchor everything you can. You're not allowed to use any coats or any gloves, anything like that you would in some of the competitions. You kind of use, this part of your bone mass to this part of your body, and kind of tighten up, and it gives you kind of an anchor to hold you a little bit steadier out there. And that's what this looks like. And then this next section is another friend of mine shooting. It's quite a bit colder out, and everybody's wearing coats. But we kind of do this fall, summer, and spring, so the weather varies. But this is him shooting his 45 long Colt. And that's kind of how that's done. You can see there's a lot of shooting going on. There's a lot of, it's one thing to just stand out there and shoot targets when you're by yourself in your backyard or wherever you might. You're out there 30 different guys and the guns are going off around you, 15, 16 shots every few seconds. It could rattle you and it gets your heart thumping. And, you're only getting 2.5 minutes to shoot your 5 shots. Sounds like a long time, but, you can get yourself in a rush. And anytime you're rushed, it puts pressure on. It kind of affects the way you shoot. So it's kind of a cool thing. I'll tell you a little bit about the rifle, the load. I use this kind of powder. I got kind of turned on to this years ago. It's a very it's a bulky powder. Fills up a lot of the case. And in 45 long Colt, there's a lot of case there. If you watch my son shoot, you'll notice that he was shooting this particular rifle in 45 Colt, and there's not a lot of recoil there. You're shooting 255 grain cast bullet. I cast my own bullets. This is a Lee mold. I think it mics out at 452, 453, and shoots very well out of this rifle. And I put a charge, it's like 6.5 grains of Trail Boss powder in there. And, it's not a real heavy hitting load. I mean, if you saw the clip before that, you see my buddy shooting a little bit faster round. Me, I got all kind of elevation on the sight. I can kind of rainbow them in there up to 100 meters, and I just rather be more comfortable shooting than that just trying to speed them down there. And I usually shoot a 357 Magnum rifles just like this, Model 92 Rossi. Shoots lights out, shoots really well, but you really don't have to adjust. If you go a turn, between the 40 meters and the 100 meters, it's not much. I mean, you might go one revolution to get to the rams, but you just aim at different spots. So that's the lever silhouette deal. It's kind of fun. I mean, if you have a club that does this, you only need a 100-meter range and some steel targets. And it is a load of, I know we're shooting the Nationals this year in Ridgeway, Pennsylvania. It's not too far from my house. And I shoot out there as often as I can. It is a lot of fun. So that's what it is, an NRA silhouette lever action rifle. If you like this kind of content, how about giving me a like or a comment down there, subscribe to my channel. I'm just getting started. It's just something new for me. It's been really cold out, and I'm just kind of killing some time before I can get out there and working in the garage and start casting bullets, getting ready for the year of shooting. So thanks a lot for watching my video.